Hey there, everybody. Welcome to today's stream. Today, we're going to be talking about the one metric that successful companies focus on and why you must too. Welcome to the stream. As you guys are tuning in today, what I want you guys to do is I want you guys to share these streams so more people can hear this type of information that we're going to be going through and talking to you guys about today. We're talking about one metric that successful companies and entrepreneurs focus on with their marketing and why you must do the same too. So as you guys are tuning in, let me know where you're tuning in from. Well, I can share this out. More people can hear this type of information as well. And we're going to be getting started in a couple of minutes. For a lot of businesses, what I'm finding these days is they're getting caught up in so much detail. And what they're doing is they're not moving themselves forward strategically, and they're not focusing on the right things in their business. And they're not even, a lot of them aren't even treating it like a real business and focusing on these types of metrics, right? I mean, a lot of people say, I'm not a numbers person. I don't understand marketing, all this type of thing, right? However, it's an area that you must focus on. You must understand. Successful companies and successful entrepreneurs, they focus on things very differently to the way the average business owner is these days. And I tell you this, you start switching your thinking and your focuses, you'll start getting very different and drastically different results. And you've always got to be testing. You've always got to be doing new things. You've got to be trialing new things, looking at new ways to stay on to the cutting edge of your business. If you're not doing this, you're going to be left behind and you're going to find yourselves in the dark ages. You're not going to find yourself consistently moving forward because these metrics, you've got to understand metrics of what successful business owners do. This is like ASX listed companies, right? We're talking Fortune 500 ASX listed companies. They focus on this one metric to be able to scale their business for marketing, right? And like a lot of businesses, they look at, how much am I spending on marketing, right? How much am I physically spending on it? How much am I, how many clients are we getting at the moment, right? Like that's what they're focusing on. They're focusing on the wrong metrics. They're focusing on, what am I spending, right? Which, by the way, when they focus on the spending, that's coming from a place of fear, right? Fear of how much am I spending, how many leads are we getting for that, right? Like all coming from a place of fear. And what that's doing is that's halting the growth. ASX listed companies and successful business owners do not focus in these areas. They don't focus on how much am I spending, right? Like spending in general is like spending in a company is not spending, it's investing for starters. Like you're investing into your brand and you're investing into your brand's growth. And when I know that my marketing's working right, it's when people are talking about us, right? I was speaking to a good friend of mine who was saying that they were speaking to somebody else who's in the business field here in Perth, and they know who I am, right? I don't even know who that person is. So I know that our marketing's working to a certain extent. However, it's one metric that ASX listed successful business owners focus on, and they focus on reducing this metric as much as possible. They're trialing, they're testing new things in order to reduce it. And for you really got to start focusing on the same for your business to get the same results, right? And we see astronomical differences between different businesses with their Facebook and social media marketing, right? And we go, what is it that these guys are doing differently right now? Because, it's this one metric that I love that you guys have got to focus on as well. And I actually speak about this a lot on the page. However, what it takes sometimes is takes 5 to 7 times to really get it, right? Or for someone to really understand it. Hence the reason why I talk about various different subjects and I reword headlines and I speak about things slightly differently. I give it a different type of, outlook, because my hoping is that, one of these videos is going to get you guys to go, got it, right? It just clicks. And then you guys are into a whole new level, right? And this is what it's all about. Coaching helps you up level. Content and learning new things helps you up level as a business owner. And if we can just give you, if we can use this, like, you know, your 5 to 7 times, right? If, you know, with that 5 to 7 times that I repeat things or say things slightly differently, can just give you guys a different insight or level of focus in your business. It's just going to help you guys move forward so much more drastically. And that's what I'm looking for, right? I'm looking to help you guys get the growth. I'm looking to help you guys better understand where you should be focusing on and what you should be thinking of to be able to up level things for your business as well. That's my main intention. So this one metric that, you know, CEOs sit in a boardroom and talk to people about, whenever they speak about marketing, they talk about this one thing. You know, our acquisition, you know, when it comes to, you know, marketing, our cost per acquisition at the moment is $250, is $184. And that's what the CEO is understanding when it comes to their marketing. They're not looking, they're not going, okay, we're spending, you know, at the moment, 25 grand in our marketing. That's not the first thing that comes out of their mouth, right? They go, I'm spending at the moment $500. They go, no, I'm out at the moment with our marketing efforts. Our cost per acquisition is $183 per acquisition of a new client. And, you know, at the moment, we're currently acquiring between 30 to, you know, 35 on the average month. You know, on the average month, we're getting around 32 new clients coming from our marketing efforts, and we're currently spending this, right? That's the tail end of the conversation. And it's like, okay, now what we're looking to do is we're looking to scale that, and we're looking to, you know, we're looking at our budgets now as opposed to what we can up level that to and what our total return on investment from our marketing is, right? Like, it's a very sort of high level marketing conversation that you have with a CEO. And if you do know a CEO, right, that is an ASX listed company CEO, etc., maybe just start asking the questions so you can understand more of how they think at the moment. And this is why it's really, really important for you to understand the metric. And all it is just a switch in mindset, right? So it's a switch in focus, right? And that's what I want to give you guys now, is like give you a switch in focus so you start focusing on the right things. Once you start focusing on the right things and you start looking at the right areas and asking the right questions on how you can do better, then that's what's going to give you the the thought patterns, the focus and the mindset and the physical resources in order to get a different result in your marketing campaigns. So the main one thing you want to be focusing on with your marketing and understanding as a metric is your cost per acquisition of a client. So what does it physically cost me to acquire a client? Then the second metric is, you know, what's the lifetime value, right? So for a lot of business owners, the lifetime value is in the thousands, right? The lifetime value of around ours is around $8,000 at the moment, right? I know other companies who have, you know, in the hundreds of thousands of dollars average spend, which I'm looking at that going, wow, how are they doing that? What are they doing differently, right? And this is what it's about. It's about asking those types of questions. But to start with, you got to understand what is the acquisition cost of a client. If you don't know that, you really got to start doing research into like literally the last 12 months, but really more so like what's the last 90 days been? What is it, you know, what have I spent or what have I invested in marketing? How many clients have I acquired? And then, you know, divide that out to work out exactly on average, how much am I spending to acquire one client, and then focusing on that metric and going, okay, cool. So now my acquisition per client at the moment is $180. How can I go about reducing that now? So you look at all your marketing campaigns and you go, okay, cool. These are the campaigns that have run in the last 90 days. What can we now do in all of this, right? What's missing? What's not working? How can we get an additional conversation? How can we get an additional close, right? Because really, like, a tweak in one section of the sales process or a tweak in one section of the marketing process can drastically reduce that acquisition cost for one client, right? And really the first step is understanding what that is, right? what that cost per acquisition is for that one client. And as a business owner, is your it is your responsibility to be able to understand what that metric is, right? For a lot of our clients, depending on the types of marketing campaigns and so on that we're doing at the moment, they're usually around the $180 mark, right? Which is getting better per month. And a lot of them, their upfront commissions or their sales that they're making is around sort of, a $2,000 product, right? $1,000 to $2,000 product, right? So it's not like a lot of money, $180 to make $1,000 to $2,000 up front. And from that, you're looking at quite high returns on income and everything as a result of that, right? So until you understand what the acquisition cost is, you'll never know if your marketing's really working. You'll never know what your focus is in terms of when you're running marketing campaigns. So you got to understand this. So, I mean, we have a lot of clients that have very big followings as well. And I look at all of that and I go, well, holy shit, the amounts that you guys could get in return as a result of this is insane. And I look at some of them that have very big followings. Now, I'm not going to say that you're going to get this result, right? But what I'm saying is like their cost per acquisition is just out of this world. We've got people that cost per acquisition are like $15 to $30 per acquisition of a client, and they're selling a couple of $1,000 products. That's just out of this world of an achievement for per client acquisition. Then we've got other clients at the moment as well that are doing like $50 per acquisition, which is more reasonable. Then we've got other ones that are doing $80 to $100 across all of our clients. On average, it's around that $180 to $200 on average. Then we've got people that are just doing astronomically stupid, crazy like amounts of a cost per acquisition of a client, right? So, and this has got to be an area that every single one of you must understand as well, because once you understand this metric, what it does is it gives you so much more opportunity to be able to, scale, right? So it's like, if it's $300 and people are buying a $1,000 product, it's like, cool. How many times can I spend $300 to be able to make $1,000? You can do it forever. So then your mindset changes on marketing then. But if you look at it, oh my God, I'm spending, $100 a day. And sometimes it's taken us, 2, 3 days, 4 days to be able to acquire a client and, right? It gets you shaky. You're in fear, right? Because you're like, you don't understand what's going on, right? You don't understand it. Hence the reason why you've got to give yourself a mind shift when it comes to marketing from spending to acquiring, right? That's the mindset that a CEO has, an ASX listed company, a New York Stock Exchange company, Fortune 500 company, right? Or CEO. That's where they focus. They focus on other metrics compared to what normal businesses do. Normal businesses focus on like, it's costing me, this money's going out of the account every single day. I'm not seeing anything, right? Like, and really they don't understand the right metrics. Like you gotta stop focusing on the negative of what's going out of your account, and you gotta start understanding what the acquisition is for your business, right? And like you hear the word of live within your means, right? In marketing, when you first start, you don't go straight to $1,000 a day marketing budget, right? You start with an amount that you're comfortable with, and you can do every single month comfortably. Once you understand the metrics of what you're flipping on social, right? Then you scale it. But so many people are just caught up in the details and they're focusing on the cost and living in fear, and they're not focusing on the important parts, which is the investment in the brand and what the acquisition is to acquire a client. Because that's all that matters. Like the rest does not matter. The acquisition of a client does matter. right? So that's what you must focus on. You must focus on the acquisition, not the cost, not the money going out of my account. And look, if you're focusing on the money going out of your account, you're probably investing way too much in your marketing right now. Scale it back to something that's more comfortable, right? And if that's $5 a day, you can do that comfortably, $5 a day, and you're not stressing and all this type of stuff that's going on, right? And you can do that comfortably, then do that, right? And then once you've flipped it a few times and you've made some money, then what you do is that's when you start doing things differently and going, once you flip that, then you go, okay, now I'm going to do 10 a day. So if you've been doing 5 a day for a while, which is about 150 a month approximately, right? You flip the 150 into 450, or you flip it into, 300. So it's $1 in, $1 out, right? Then you go, okay, cool. Now I've done that for a month. Now I'm going to change it to, and I've flipped that and I've comfortably done that. Now I'm going to reinvest back in and I'm going to go, okay, I'm going to do $10 a day now, and I'm going to do that for the next month and slowly scale what I'm doing right now, okay? Because my acquisition at the moment is $100, or it is $75, or it is $50, whatever that is. And then it's like, okay, cool, I'm in profits. Now I'm going to up that to 10, do that for the next 4 weeks, see how that goes, judge it, do it comfortably, flip it, then I'm going to scale again the next month. So I'm going to go, now I'll do 15 a day the next month, and you slowly grow it, right? We're currently doing at the moment like around $100 to $150 a day. We didn't start that way. I'm not going to sit here hiding and saying, I'm spending millions on marketing at the moment ourselves. We're not. We're managing like thousands and thousands a day, right? We're managing thousands a day across all of our clients, right? So, you got to be focusing on the acquisition, starting small, comfortable, scaling, right? That's how we did it. And you're following a lot of other people on Facebook at the moment that are giving you part of what they did, right? And, part of what they did may not be what you want to do right now, okay, which is okay. And these are just the focus areas that you got to go through, right? So you got to focus on the right things. Focus on what is it that's going to get me the result. Start small, scale, right? You do it strategically, you do it incrementally. However, you got to understand that one metric. If that one metric is exactly what CEOs of ASX listed companies, successful business owners, entrepreneurs are doing right now, if that's what they're doing, then why aren't you doing it? Because you're focusing on the wrong things. And it's not your fault, by the way. It's no one's fault. It's just the learnings, the education side that, it wasn't made clear to me enough that should be what I'm focusing on. Because it turns into, once you start focusing on the right things, it turns into a bit of a game. It turns into, okay, what would happen if I did this, right? What would happen if I did this? And you're looking at it a little bit differently, and you get some excitement out of it as well. And that's what we're doing right now. We're getting excited about it because it's a bit of a game. If we did this, what would happen? What would happen if we just trialed doing this type of campaign and we articulated our copy this way? And a lot of the time I go, this is a freaking fantastic idea. Let's try this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. And it's like last week I spoke to you about I think it was Saturday. I spoke to you about a conversation that I had with our team around sort of changing direction. And, they thought, hey, when we joined, we were going to do all of this stuff, but, that didn't happen. And, whatever. Right. I spoke about all that on Saturday. You can just go back and check out. I'm pretty sure it was Saturday. Just go out and check out Saturday's live stream that I did here live on the page. Just talking to you guys about real stuff, right? Stuff that's going on, so you guys can get the sort of training and help to move forward as well. And that's what we're doing, right? So it's like, then I've gone, okay, cool. Let's trial that direction now to feed more into that direction and let's see what happens. Will it reduce our cost per acquisition of a client? Let's put a budget towards that and start focusing on that too, and continuing our current marketing efforts that we're doing right now. So this is the areas of focus. This is what we're doing, and this is the direction and the focuses that you guys must have as well. Start focusing on the right things. Cut away the rest. This is why I say, right, like nobody else is giving you guys this type of information on the internet right now. Nobody else is giving you the right focus points, the sort of, I guess, what they're doing right now. There's some people that are doing, what we're doing right now. But to give you like the tactical side as well, and to give it to you every single day, just freewheeling, right? A lot of people are giving it to you on webinars, which is like, you got to put in your name, your email, your contact number. And even then there's like a little bit missed out. And it's like, you can get access to that in my course. However, we're not giving you that. We're just saying, well, if you want to join and want to work with us closer, reach out to us or just jump through this link and get started. There's no high pressure sales tactics or anything like that. It's just basically, whenever you're ready, if you're ready, do it. If you're not, that's okay. No hard feelings. But we're just going to give you like what you need here live every single day. All right. And it's like I spoke about yesterday, 5 sort of main elements that you must have within all of your marketing campaigns to be able to, create better quality leads, better quality out of your marketing, get more from your marketing, focusing on 5 main things I spoke about yesterday. And then today we're like talking about changing the way that you're thinking about marketing. And on Thursday, I actually got an awesome interview with a very, very well-known, SERENA and I, we've managed to hook up a really well-known person who does hundreds of millions of dollars like within business. They're not someone that used to talk really freely on social media. It's doing heaps more now as well. We've got a live interview with those people on Thursday. Unfortunately, that's not going to be live here on the page. We're doing it late in the evening. It'll be pre-recorded. However, we'll give you a bit of an insight to that as well. And part of what we're going to be doing with this person is a bit of a different outlook around what is his mindset on marketing, right? So we want to get into more so his mind on marketing and how he thinks about it. Because this will be really good for myself and SERENA as well. We're already marketing. We know the tactical side. We know the strategy that businesses should do. And I'll give you another example, right? So today I had a conversation with a guy who does fire management systems, right? And, he works on with individuals, sort of the zone around their property for bushfire management, escape plans, and all that type of stuff as well, right? Really important part. However, the challenge is every person he's gone to, marketing wise, he's been to a lot of marketers over the years, and all of them have said, I don't understand how to market your product. Sorry. And really, I look at it and I go, why the hell can a marketer not understand how to market his business? Because number one, they're not asking enough questions of the client. They're not to understand it. I can tell you what's going on. They're not asking enough questions to understand it. Number two, they're also, probably not experienced marketers at all. Okay. They're probably just started up in their back shed, thought it was a great idea, or went through school and gone, okay, cool, I'm going to do marketing now. And, I spent $1,000 on a course, and, this person said, now I can start charging businesses $1,000 a month, and just thought it would be a great, way to be able to just create a lifestyle and income. And kudos to them, right? However, marketing, right, you're playing with businesses' livelihoods. So for me, I look at it and go, well, number one, they didn't ask questions. Number two, they obviously haven't got the knowledge of marketing in depth, which all comes from applied knowledge, and conscious unconscious competence in marketing, right? Which is what Serena and I have got to a level of now. We're still learning new things consistently, but we've got an unconscious competence when it comes to writing copy, marketing strategy, all this type of stuff, right? And it's just something that's just coming to us really naturally. I wish I had have recorded it as well, because it's just really good training for everybody. But this is what the level that you've really got to get to with things as well is, and your businesses, you will all understand your businesses to a certain aspect. However, what it's going to come to is just giving you guys a little bit more in-depth around strategy and all that sort of stuff. So that stuff's easy to understand, strategy and everything like that, once you've done it so many times. And with that one, the biggest thing is what's happening is, this is what his clients do. His clients go, okay, I'm building a home in the bush. The main thing is we've got to get a plan and we've got to get, approval by the council. Okay, so they don't even know that they've got to have a bushfire management and escape plan put into part of the building of their home and all this sort of stuff. They don't realize they need it for council approval, right? So it's the lack of education or lack of product unawareness that people have. So for any business that is watching us live right now or watching the replay, some of you and your clients as well will be completely unaware that they even need your product. They'll be completely unaware that your product is even a product to grow a business. I go back to when I first started in business in 2007. And I decided I had a friend walk into a bottle shop, right, where I was working, good friend of mine. And, he walks in with a pinstripe suit and he walks in and he says, he's got his brand new car he just picked up, new Honda Civic, and it looked amazing, brand spanking new and everything. I've gone, man, what are you doing with, I haven't seen him in ages. I'm like, man, what are you doing? Like you walking in with a pinstripe suit, gold chain, like nice watch, nice suit, nice new car, everything. I'm like, you got to tell me why. Like, how did you do this? He goes, I'm an insurance broker. And I was like, okay, man, obviously you had to go to school for that, right? He's gone, no, I just attended a 3-day course and now I can be an insurance broker. I was like, oh, okay, all right, get me in. What do I have to do? He said, well, I could set up an interview with my boss, who's one of the regional managers, and we can see if we can get you in under a contract and maybe they'll pay for your training. I'm like, yeah, hook me up, right? And I got the role and I went off to the 3-day training, came back, and then I was licensed to sell insurance, accident sickness cover, right? First point at business ever. Now, I was taught that the only way to acquire clients is to use their existing database and to go down to drop flyers off around, like get business cards and give business cards to people, and then cold prospect from business to business, and then, ask for referrals, and then grab the newspaper at 7:30 a.m. in the morning, go to the classified section and start cold calling. That's all I knew. I was completely product unaware that I could use Google. I was product unaware that I could market on Facebook, which was just starting then in 2007. I think that's when I started an account for the first time, right? I was product unaware that I could market myself on Facebook or social media, or, what I used to use a lot of back then, MySpace, to acquire people that are interested in getting accident and sickness cover in case they're in an accident or they were sick, to get paid when they're off work, right? And every single one of all of you here live as well right now have people that are completely product unaware that they even need your product to be able to help themselves move forward. And this was the exact same thing as this guy who was a consultant for bushfire evacuation plans and property evacuation plans, and making sure that people have that zone around their property to make sure that their property is not going to be burnt down in the event of a bushfire coming through the area, right? And people are just basically going straight to the council with their plans of their property, right? So they knew, and then they don't realize that they need a evacuation plan drawn up and done prior to getting any approval or submitting any documents. So what were they doing? The council goes, call this guy. So his strategy is quite simple. He's got to educate people in the marketplace that they need this done prior to going to the council for approval of anything, whether that is sheds, whether that is properties, things they're building on the property anywhere around it. They need this done prior to going to the council. If they go to the council without getting this done, they will get sent his details anyway. So they may as well get it done before they go and submit everything to the council, right? And wasting that time of, going from their property through to the council chambers, which might be 20 minutes there, 20 minutes back. Save yourself the time, get it done beforehand, and get everything completed before submitting to the council, right? So my thing is here today, all of you are going to focus on the right things in your business. Don't focus on what the marketing is costing you every day. If you're focusing on what it's costing you every day, you're spending too much in the earlier stages, right? Start small, scale. Understand your cost per acquisition. That's the one metric that you must be focusing on and understanding within your business. That's what you must be understanding in your business. And that's what Fortune 500 companies do. That's what CEOs do. That's what successful business owners and entrepreneurs understand so that they can grow and scale. And this is when it turns into a game, right? My cost per acquisition is $180. How regularly can I spend $180 to acquire one client for my business? You could spend it every single day. Your product's gives you a $2,000 commission. Your product gives you a $2,000 income in return. You can spend $180 every single day, every single minute, every single hour of the day, and you can grow quite quickly. Would you do that? No, not straight up front. You do it incrementally. And that's what I'm talking about to you guys about today. You want to be switching your focus, right, from what my marketing's costing me to what it physically is to acquire one client. And if you're anything like a lot of our clients, you're going to have products from, $500 to $1,000 plus. And if it's, $100 per acquisition of a client, you can spend $100 every single day and acquire one client at $500. And it turns into a real game then, okay? And that's what I want your business to turn into as well. Turn into an area of you focusing on the right things. Turn into an area where it's going to turn into a little bit of a game for you as well, where you've got so much predictability, you understand your business so much that you can go about scaling it to $100, $200, $300, $500, $1,000 a day, and you can get the return predictably for your particular business. And all of this comes with understanding, to start with, of what your acquisition cost is for one client. Not what you're spending per day, not what you're spending, over the last month. Speak to a CEO, successful business owner, entrepreneur. You speak to these people. When they start speaking about marketing, they start speaking about their cost per acquisition. And that's what you guys have got to get in the habit of right now as well, is what is your cost per acquisition? What is it costing you to acquire one client? What is it costing you to get one particular client for your business, right? Once you understand that, then you can move forward. You can have predictability. You can have, you can basically say down to the dollar that, when my marketing does this, this is what we do in return. And it all comes down to understanding. Things you do not understand, do not expand, do not turn into more results. If you're focusing on the wrong areas, you're going to start and continue to get the wrong results. If you focus on the right areas and the right understandings, you're going to start getting the right results, right? So there's no kind of perfection with things. It's like focusing on the right things that will get you the results. That's what it's all about. All right, guys. So thank you so much for tuning in today. I'm going to be taking questions, right? Like, remember, every session that I do, you can ask questions. The more you engage, the more you will receive from all of this as well. And that's what it's all about. The more you engage, the more you'll receive. The more you do, the more you'll continue to understand. So if there's areas that you don't quite understand, or if, you know, I'm speaking gibberish and you don't understand what it is that I'm talking about, I will look for additional ways to be able to support you guys more and be able to help you understand things better. I don't just want this to be another, I said this in my group, the Be the Warrior group. And if you're not in the Be the Warrior group at the moment, make sure that you're in there, right? Because I said to the guys in there the other day, and I'll say that here too, I don't want to be just somebody that you follow and get information from and say, hey, that was great information. I love what you do, right? I want you to say, I love what you do, but I want you to also say, Jarrod, I implemented this that you speak about. I got a result. That's what it's about, right? You're not following me because you like me, right? And I'm sure a lot of you will like me. You're following me for a reason that's important to you. And what's important to you is to get information to generate leads, to get information to make, more importantly, more sales in your business, right? The leads are worth nothing if they're not sales, right? So you're following me because you want to get more sales for your business. More importantly, you want to get a return on investment from what you're doing currently. And, you know, if I can just give you some information here free that's going to help you do that, great. If should you decide that, Jarrod, I want to work with you more closely, right, to work on these areas, then we can work on getting you some more personalized help in all of this as well, right? But that is a decision you've got to make yourself. Until then, you just continue absorbing what it is that I'm talking to you about here every day. But more importantly, I want to know, are you guys implementing? Are you guys doing something? The reason why businesses get to $1 million is because they implement things, right? And I have some people here who are quite big in the space and they follow me and they get little things from it as well, right? Because they understand that, you know, there's areas of focus. They understand there's things that they're doing or they know, yet they don't understand, they don't do, okay? Because it's okay to, you know things, but if you don't implement things, that's not to know. To know and not to do is not to know. Because if you don't know or you're not physically doing something, then you really just don't know. If you're not doing it now, you don't know it. It's not important to you. You're not focusing on it. You're not doing it. You're not getting the result, right? It's about not like knowing and not doing things is not to know. That's the whole aspect of this. It's great to know things, but if you don't do things, you don't know things, really, truly. Because people go, oh, I've heard this information before. Okay, so why aren't you doing it? Oh, you know, I got busy, I did this, I was doing that. I don't want this to be another video you guys watch. That's the whole idea of this conversation, right? This rant that I'm doing right now. I don't want this to be just another video you watch and you go away, you go, that's great information. I want you guys to do something with it. So if you don't understand something, right, I want you guys to hit me here on the page. I want you to comment below and say, Jarrod, what did you mean by this? What you said, this statement. What did you mean by that, right? I want you guys to understand really where you should be focusing on so that you can start getting the result and switching your focus to that so that you can start really understanding your business, right? If you understand your business in depth, you're going to start getting a different result. And that's what it's all about. I want you to help you I don't want to only just help you with marketing advice and sales advice and things like that to be able to grow and scale and get more leads and sales. I want to help you understand the process, the game of business. Because the more I'm in business, the more I realize it's a game. And I now understand what a lot of like some of my really successful mentors are talking about when they're talking about, you know, why this is a game to successful business owners, right? It's because they focus on things differently. They have areas of focus and things that they understand that then they go, okay, what would happen if I did this? How would it work if I did this? Okay, let's test this, let's do this, and let's see, you know, like what would happen if we did this? And then, you know, the expectation is I'd be able to do this, but what if I increased it slightly more? Would it do the same? What if I increased it a little bit more? Would it do the same? What if I increased it more? Would it do the same? And that's what they're doing, right? They're going, my acquisition is $220 for one client, and we make $1,000 sale. That is 5 times the return. I take out my sales guy's commission, right, of $200 over and above that. And then that is 2.5 times my return. So what would happen if now I went from my 100 a day to 150 a day, right? Or 110 a day. Then, you know, I brought in a couple of extras, and then all of a sudden, how many more sales would I be making then? How much more money would be coming into the business then? And it's turning into a bit of a game, and you get a little bit excited about it as it continues to happen. And you just literally like, I can't explain the feeling, guys. It's insane, right? When it turns into a game, you have a whole new level of business understanding. And if you understand the acquisition cost of one client for your business, then that's when it turns into a game. Because you go, the last 90 days, right, I have spent on my marketing $6,000. We've acquired 600 clients. That's $60. You know, where it's like 5 clients to acquire 1 deal, right? I don't know whether those numbers are correct, but it's around that, right? But you guys get the point, right? You look at your last 90 days, you go, we generated this many leads, we got this many sales, right? So now, you know, 60 sales, 6,000 spent, right? That is what, $60 per client acquisition. That's buying $1,000 client. You know, you guys get the point, right? This is the level of understanding that you want. And when you understand that, then you can go, okay, now I want to spend over the next 90 days, I want to double that. So I spend, what would happen if I spend over the next 90 days, $12,000, right? I would expect, based on the last 90 days, my cost per acquisition was this. Over the next 90 days, if I was to double that, my result will be this. We just have to manage, you know, this sales process this way, the extra volume this way, the extra clients this way. And that's how you develop your in-depth strategy, okay? That's how you do it. It turns into a game. I want this to turn into a game for you guys, right? However, it's like, start small, incrementally scale it. Start small, incrementally scale it. And when you incrementally scale it, track, right? Track the data. If you're not a numbers person, get someone that is a numbers person. Pass it to your accountant. Say, you know, can you look at this, and this for the last 90 days? Send me a freaking report on it. Pay them $200 to do that for you. Then you can look at the report and go, that right there is the number that I want. Now, what can I do with that number is I can go, okay, if I incrementally increase it by 10%, this is what will happen, right? Stay in your own lane, understand your numbers, understand what that acquisition is, talk about that acquisition. Stop talking about what it costs you. Start talking about the acquisition, because that's what's important, right? Focus on what's important, not everything else, all right? So I'm going to wrap this one up for today. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. Understand your acquisition, and remember one thing. If you do not fight for your own freedom, absolutely nobody else will. So every single day you must get out there. Every single day you must take action. Every single day you must understand your cost per acquisition. And remember to be the warrior. I'll speak to you guys tomorrow on the show. Remember, be here, 12 o'clock, Perth, Western Australia time. Comment or follow the page, right? Click follow the page. Make sure you're seeing everything first, every single day. Live new strategies, live areas of focus, live ways to help you guys grow. 6 days a week, Monday to Saturday. Sundays off because I want some time for myself as well. I enjoy giving you guys value, but I also want some time for myself as well. So that Sunday is my time for myself. And I'm coming at you guys live every single day with new things to help you guys hit the new level. Hit the like button, go follow the page, share this so everyone else in your business community can get the free information as well. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, 12 o'clock Perth, Western Australia time. See you guys then.